Every leader has a moment, that quiet pause between I think I can, I'm not so sure. Welcome to Tutum Talk with me, Cara Nance. Together, we'll explore what it means to lead with heart, to build confidence not from control, but from connection. Because your leadership isn't about perfection, it's about presence. And when you trust yourself, your team will too. Join me as we explore leadership in the everyday and beyond. Hi, friends. I'm really glad you're here today. Last week in episode 22, we talked about what it feels like to be tapped for leadership, but quietly terrified. That moment when everyone else sees confidence, and inside you're thinking, are they sure they picked the right person? If that resonates, you are not alone. I have definitely been there. And honestly, I've been sitting with something since that conversation. Because what often happens next is that you're already in the seat. The title is official. The team is looking at you. And the meetings are happening. And the doubt, it doesn't magically disappear. So today, I want to talk about something we don't say out loud very often: leading while doubting yourself. Have you ever been in a meeting nodding confidently while your inner voice is whispering, I have no idea what I'm doing? Or maybe you've made a decision and then replayed it 47 times before attempting to fall asleep in bed. Maybe you've walked into a boardroom or facilitated a team meeting or sent a company wide email and afterward thought, was that steady? Did that land? Did I say too much? Or did I not say enough? If that's you, I want you to hear this clearly. Doubt does not disqualify you from leadership. In fact, sometimes it's a signal that you understand the weight of it. The leaders I worry about most are not the ones who doubt themselves. It's the ones who don't. Because doubt, when it's healthy, means you understand that your decisions affect people. It means you care about morale. It means you care about psychological safety. And it means you understand that your words ripple. Many of the leaders I coach are leading teams of 15 to 75 people. They're holding culture. They're trying to retain good humans. And they're navigating burnout, turnover, and competing priorities. And they lay awake asking, did I handle that well? Did I shut someone down accidentally? Did I miss something important? That isn't weakness. That, my friends, is awareness. That is investment. That is leadership maturity trying to take shape. The problem isn't that doubt exists. The problem is what happens when you interpret doubt as proof that you're not enough. Over the years in coaching, I've noticed leadership doubt tends to fall into three categories. You might recognize yourself in one of these. First category, the skill doubt. And the questions often is, do I actually know enough to do this job? This shows up when you're promoted internally. You shifted industries. You're leading people who have more technical expertise than you. Or you're building something new. You compare yourself to someone more experienced and think, they seem so sure. And what you don't see, they have their own version of doubt. Skill doubt often fades with exposure, but in the beginning, it can feel loud. All right, the second is belonging doubt. And the question often shows up as, do I deserve to be in this room? And this one is quieter, it's more subtle. You look around and think, they all sound smarter. They all have different backgrounds. I don't talk like that. Especially if your leadership style is calm or reflective or relational. If you're not the loudest voice in the room, you may mistake difference for deficiency. But let me say this clearly. Leadership does not require volume. It requires steadiness. All right, the third is identity doubt. And the question that often shows up and arises internally is, am I the kind of person who can lead like this? And this one goes deeper. Maybe you don't fit the stereotype of what you think a leader, quote unquote, should look like. Maybe you're empathetic. Maybe you feel deeply. And maybe you need time to process before you speak. And you wonder, can someone like me actually do this? The answer is yes. In fact, the future of healthy leadership depends on leaders like you. Now, here's where it gets important. Doubt itself isn't the danger. Unexamined doubt is. When doubt goes unnamed, it often turns into overfunctioning. You might over-prepare for every meeting, over-explain your decisions, avoid delegating because it feels safer to do it yourself, possibly micromanage, stay silent in executive conversations, and maybe even possibly avoid hard conversations because you're afraid of doing them quote unquote wrong. And here's the quiet impact of that. When a leader doesn't trust themselves, it creates instability underneath the surface of a team. Not because you're bad, and definitely not because you're incompetent, but because uncertainty leaks. Your team feels it when you don't fully stand in your decisions. They feel it when you apologize for your authority, and they feel it when you shrink. And I say that gently, not to shame, but to invite awareness. Because when you shift your relationship with doubt, your leadership steadies. Here's the reframe that has helped so many leaders I work with. Instead of asking, am I good enough? Or do they think I'm competent? Or am I doing this right? Shift the question to, what does this moment need from me? That question changes everything. Because leadership is not performance, it's presence. What does this moment need? Does it need clarity? Does it need decisiveness? Does it need curiosity? Or does it need accountability? Or does it need calm? And when you move from self evaluation to situational awareness, you become grounded. And grounded leadership is contagious in the best ways possible. So let me give you a few tangible anchors you can use this week. Anchor number one, name the doubt privately. You don't have to announce it publicly, but internally say, I'm noticing I'm afraid of getting this wrong. Naming reduces intensity. What we name, we can work with. What we avoid, controls us. All right, anchor number 2. Separate facts from fear. Write it down if you need to. For example, fact: I was hired for this role. Fear: they're about to realize I'm not qualified. Fact: I've led teams successfully before. Fear: this time will expose me. When you separate the two, you realize fear often fills in gaps that facts don't support. All right, anchor number 3. Borrow confidence from evidence. You don't have to manufacture belief. Borrow it from data. Teams with high psychological safety outperform. Leaders who ask thoughtful questions build trust. Strengths-based leadership increases engagement. You don't have to be perfect. You have to be steady. All right, anchor number 4. Build reflection into your leadership rhythm. And that's a big one, my friends. Leadership without reflection leads to burnout. Leadership with reflection builds resilience. Even 10 minutes at the end of the week with questions like, what did I handle well? Where did I grow? And what do I want to try differently? Without reflection, doubt spirals. With reflection, doubt becomes information. I want to share something with you. When I launched this podcast, I definitely had moments of deep doubt. Who am I to speak about leadership? Will this resonate? Am I clear enough? And then I realized something. The goal was never to sound flawless. The goal was to be helpful, to be steady, to be honest. And every time I shift from, am I doing this right? To, will this support someone listening? The doubt softens because the focus isn't me anymore. It's service. And that's leadership. So if you are leading right now and doubting yourself quietly, please hear me. Doubt is not proof that you're failing. It is proof that you understand the weight of influence. The goal is not to eliminate doubt. It's to lead well while it's there. To move forward with steadiness. To stay rooted in your values. To make decisions thoughtfully. To repair when needed. And to grow in public. That is real leadership. And if you are carrying doubt silently right now, you don't have to carry it alone. In my one-on-one coaching spaces and in the leadership containers I hold, we make room for the questions leaders are often afraid to say out loud. And from that space, clarity grows, confidence stabilizes, and leadership becomes less lonely. If this episode resonated, I'd love to connect with you. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're becoming. And I'm really glad you're here. Thank you again for being here today, and I look forward to connecting with you on the next. Take good care, my friends. I know you have a lot of options on how you carve out your day and spend your time, and I'm honored that you decided to spend some time here today at Tutum Talk. Remember that leadership, it isn't something that we master once. It's something we grow into, moment by moment. My hope is that today offered you a little more clarity, a little more courage, and a reminder that you're not leading alone. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need it too. And remember, confidence doesn't come from having all the answers. It grows from connection, curiosity, and the courage to keep showing up. I'm Cara Nance, and this has been Tutum Talk, exploring leadership in the everyday and beyond.